What's happening, guys? We are at Jackson Creek Road, about to head up to Rampart Range Road. It's after work Thursday, or no, what is today? It's either Wednesday or Thursday, I don't know, I think it's Wednesday. But say hi to the llamas. Hi, llamas! But yeah, I just wanted to take a little ride. This road's really cool. I've been up here once or twice. I've only been up here once on the bike, but Stace and I actually found it when we were cruising around exploring. We're not gonna have too much time, but at least get a little bit of Rampart Range Road. Probably gonna have to take a whole afternoon, or it's pretty far. I think it's 40 miles from one end to the other. And as I mentioned before, it does end up in Garden of the Gods. So maybe we'll do that, head out one morning and do 2 videos in one day. 2 dual sport rides. One down Rampart Range Road and one at Garden of the Gods, since you guys seem to really like Red Rocks. Red Rocks is awesome. Garden of the Gods is cool. A little bit of it is walking around, and you gotta actually go down to stuff in the park, but you can see a lot on the ride through, so I don't know, depending on how we are that day, we'll see. But it has been absolute crap weather all day. It's looked like it's gonna pour down rain since I got up this morning. It actually was raining, and it actually didn't look too good when I left the house, but the closer that I got over here, the nicer it's looked. It's getting a little dark prematurely because of the cloud cover, but it don't look like rain. It looked like rain real bad over at the homestead, looking off my porch. So, Yama Joe, I owe you a Busted Knuckle Garage video, and as I've mentioned a couple of times, I am not exactly mechanically inclined, so I'm going to do a little something different than you and Mr. Ride a Map did, but I'm not going to tell you what. I still haven't had time to get it done. I spent the last couple of days editing the Corona Pass video, which, oh man, I want to go back up there every day. As I said in that video, if that restaurant was still up there, I'd be up there eating right now. I'd figure out a way. So the reason I'm out riding today is Miss Stacy had to go up to Aspen on business. So I have the night off, or the night to myself, if you will. So, you know what that means. Any time to yourself is time to ride, of course. So, out I am. Go and check out what's going on up here. So since it seems to be the time of telling videos, I've got some bad news of my own that I got maybe a month and a half ago, that I've kind of been debating whether I wanted to share with the internets and the YouTubes. Most of my close friends and family know, but we moved out here 10 months ago, and I was lucky enough to find an absolutely amazing job. And I was contracting for them through a contract company. It was contract to hire, and they were supposed to bring me on, 90 days. And my contract kept getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back, and nobody could tell me why, because I had absolutely stellar reviews. My boss loved me. Everybody in my office, kept asking, what, did they hire you on yet? Did they hire you on yet? So I had to keep telling them no. And I couldn't understand. my boss was like, I keep trying to put the paperwork through and it just doesn't get approved, and I don't know what the heck's going on. There, we'll make Xena a little happier. He's like, I just don't know what the heck's going on. Wow, this is like some really crappy gravel. But eventually out came an email from our CEO. Our company is owned by a large Japanese telecom company. They bought us a while ago, and they've been losing money on our company ever since, which is not a good thing, but it's kind of been like a tax write-off situation, if you will. So they've kept us afloat and kept us alive. But out comes this email that says we're going to be shutting down the Denver office effective December 31st. So as soon as I read that email, my heart just sank. It's like, oh man, here's this. I finally found a job that I'm like completely love, and basically running my own show, even though I'm not, I'm not technically not, but my own office, actually I have two offices. I have two office spaces, but my own office, my own location, which is the Denver office. And here they go, kicking me out pretty much as soon as I start. I was like, it's finally one of those jobs where I'm going to stay for 10 or 15 years and be happy. But nope. Apparently not. That sucks for them, yeah. My boss, was also devastated. I mean, he's up in Orem, Utah, and his office is staying, but he had no idea this was coming. I knew before he did, actually. Since I'm in the financial headquarters, word was getting around, and I know some good people to know for things like that. But yeah, so let him know. He found out officially, and then he was so apologetic. He was like, oh my god, man. He's like, I'm so sorry, I want you to know I wasn't stringing you along, I wasn't doing anything like that. And I knew he wasn't. I would never think that he would do something. My boss is a really cool guy. But they let me know that I had a guaranteed job opening if I wanted to move to Boca Raton, Florida, which is a absolute no. We've grasped onto Colorado and we are staying here. These turns freak me out, man. They're blind. And then he was like, well, what do you think about moving to Orem, Utah, where Mr. Everide used to be from? And I was like, oh man, so to be so close to Moab and to be able to ride out there. I mean, I've been out there a couple of times and it is absolutely gorgeous. The only problem with all that is it's in the middle of nowhere. I'm sure you've all heard Mr. Everide talking about all that, but it is literally in the middle of nowhere, just a little town. You'd have to go to Salt Lake to get, anything a little bit big city, which is fine with me and fine with the wife. I mean, we're sick and tired of the city. That's part of what we love about Colorado. We even feel like we're too close to Denver. We want to get out of the metro and get somewhere cool. So we seriously considered that. I talked it through with Stace, and she called her boss, and they had a conversation, and they only have 2 part-time people out in the Salt Lake area, so they don't have enough work for a full-timer, and she's a superstar with her company, and they just did not want to lose her from Denver either. So I mean, understandable, I would have absolutely loved it, and I was totally pumped about it, but it's just not something that can be done, which is all right. just gonna have to start over from the drawing board yet again. And that kind of stuff is really discouraging. In the IT world, it's not unheard of to work a job for a year, move around, kind of thing like that. It's actually commonplace, and it's kind of what my job, my career's turned into. It kind of sucks. The longest I've been somewhere is 3 years, and that's when I worked with my brother in Jersey when I was still a super young buck. Whoa, what the heck did they do here? Wow, I wonder if there was a landslide or something. That was crazy. Huh. Looked like they rebuilt the entire road. But yeah, it gets a bit discouraging. I kind of told you a little bit about my parents and that they're old school, and they're from the era of put in your whatever it is, 25, 30 years at one company, and then retire, and that's it. And here I am, 12 years into my career, and I've had 7 different jobs in only 3 years. And not that I think I'm old or anything. I'm definitely getting older, but you have to start thinking about retirement, and gotta start investing and saving money, and even though I'm making more money now, which is nice, and don't have kids and stuff, which is cool, so I have a lot of play money. There's no 401k that's been started. There's no pension. There's no anything like that. So here we are. This is the beginning of Rampart Range boundaries. Rampart Range Road is still on up a little bit. Yeah, it sucks, but the cool thing is they gave me 6 months notice. So I've got 6 months to make a decision. Pick out a new place to work. And the cool thing is even though I'm not getting a severance like all of my friends at work are, which would be freaking awesome, they're giving 3 months severance, but the positive side of it is that I'm still contracting, so I'm through a contracting company, and I have them as a resource to find me something new. Which is also a problem, because if you're an IT guy, you know exactly what happens as soon as you let some IT recruiters know that you're available. They hound you like no other, and I mean like no other. They will be calling you every day, because when you're a contractor, the company pays just about twice what your actual salary is to have you. So, half of that goes to the contracting company and half of it goes to you for your salary through the contracting company. The positive for the company that you're working for is that they get to try you out, make sure you're going to be a good fit, and if they want to get rid of you, they just say, "See you later, alligator. You ain't gonna work out with us, and goodbye. Don't bother coming back." And you're the contracting company's problem. So that kind of works out good for me. Contracting for an employee is never good. I mean, it's never the way you want to go. Because if you end up in a situation like this, you get the raw end of the deal. I mean, there's no other way to explain it, You're not gonna get severance. You haven't had benefits. You're just getting paid less than you would. And I actually found out what the company that I work for was gonna make me an offer just before all this was found out, and it was like, $8,000 more than I'm making now, and I'm making more than I've ever made in my entire life. So my boss was like, sorry to tell you this now, and please don't cut my head off, but this is how much we were gonna pay you. This is how much I was bringing you on at. He requested a number, and what got approved was $3,000 less than the number he requested, but that's normal. And it was still friggin' boku bucks. But not to sound like a jerk, but I'm good at what I do. Like I said, I've been doing it for 12 years. I've gained my skill sets. I don't need to be trained. I'm ready to rock out of the box, if you will. So I've sent my contracting company on a mission with very specific things. Since I have so long, I don't need to take the first available job. I want to find something where I'm going to be just as happy as where I'm at. And that's going to be hard. But if they don't find it within 4 months, then maybe we'll start talking about whatever they got. But we'll see. We'll see how it all works out. It's all up in the air right now, and kind of sucks, but what can you do? Check this out. That's a pretty cool view, huh? I know you guys are looking right into the sun, but if you can't see it, it's beautiful, trust me.